make sure they download Pocket Agent on their smartphone if they have a smartphone. Try to find out how internet savvy they are, because if they're not real internet savvy, a lot of stuff doesn't have any meaning to them. So then we find out if they participate in Facebook, and if they do, we have a template we shoot to them and say, "Would you like us on Facebook?" And all they have to do is click right there, and then they're ready to like us on Facebook. So we're trying to do everything we can to improve our web presence, as many of you are doing. So all that preliminary out of the way, and then we turn to the board, and I've got a big whiteboard in the office, as well as a TV screen so they can see. I've got like a 36-inch TV screen that's my monitor, so that they can see what I'm showing them. But then we go to this presentation. We've already got their names up here. We've got their income, the name of their kids. We've got a list of their asset base. And then at this point, I say, my job for you, what you pay me to do, is to build a wall around this. And I think you look to me to make sure that things that can destroy this wall financially get taken care of. And so then I said, there's 7 major risks that you face financially in your life. The first one is, suppose you have a breakdown in health and you run into a lot of medical bills. What have you got going? Tell me what's going for you on your health insurance. I know most people will be group insurance, or they've been trying to get in on the website to get the insurance or whatever. Whatever they say, if they say, well, we got great group insurance, I'm comfortable with my deductibles, everybody's covered, not worry about it, say, great. That one's taken care of. Bounces off the wall. All right? You're in a car accident, you can't work next week, where's your money coming from? And
so, I thought you were asking me. Wait a minute.
A couple of minutes last night, he said, I've got group insurance, it covers 60%, which is about, I said, it covers about 60%, right? He said, yeah, that's it. I said, does the company pay the bills on that? Do they pay the entire premium? He said, yep, it's a free benefit. Outstanding. Did you know your benefits will be taxable? So that 60% which year to be take-home pay is now 35%. Are you comfortable with that? His wife, and the one last night, not this particular guy last night, he had taken a cut in pay so he'd have more time with his family and change jobs. His wife was the principal breadwinner. She makes like $95,000 a year. He makes $38,000. His income's taken care of pretty much disability. We'll need to supplement that a little bit. So I turned to her and said, if you got hit by a car, couldn't work for 6 months, a year, 2 years, what happens to your income? She said, goes down to 2 if I've got nothing. How do you feel about that? And then we're off running. So in her case, we obviously said, if I can get this up, you got a problem. And so then we proceed, At this point, I don't go into, I'm just trying to disturb them a little bit. Okay, what happens if you die? What happens to that income? What happens to the family? In this case, and that's when I go into the LIFE analysis. Actually, what have you got covered? What loans do you have? What income are you trying to replace? Education. You guys know the spiel there. Just quickly put it down there. We total it up. What do you got? And in this case, they were short about $500,000 on each of them. So we got another problem. We asked them about long-term care. There will be times when you may not be able to take care of yourself. This is going to run this neck. I don't have to give you the sales spiel, but I give them a couple of questions. What would happen if you needed help taking care of yourself? Where's that money going to come from? Well, this was a 32-year-old couple. They weren't real concerned, but they did recognize it was still a problem. We want to make sure that all of these assets, property-wise, are defended in case of fire, lightning, that type of stuff. So, but I've already reviewed that generally. So usually, that's not an issue. If I've looked at it ahead of time, there's a little bit of a problem, we'll discuss that. Liability is the sixth one. And there, of course, you got umbrella, those types of things, which are usually taken care of. And the last one, I, is income, or investments. You want to make sure that your investments are protected, that they're going the right way, and we can talk to you. And this couple needed 401k rollover, those types of things. So we'll end here, we'll talk about retirement. Pretty simple presentation. This one resulted in, for this couple, we wrote 3 DI policies. The other couple, we wrote 4 DI policies in the two of them. So.
When you say forces, you did a DI and MDI? Or what did you do?
Well, this one I did an MDI on the guy to supplement his group, and a short-term and long-term on the wife. I always like to do short-term, long-term. It gives you better benefits for less money than just doing a long-term. It's been, I've only been doing this about a year. I've been doing IFRs since I started, but this program has just been revolutionary to me. It's easy to train my staff to do it, my sales team, and it's amazing what you find out about people. And it makes sense to them. Then when I'm through with this, pull out the camera, take a picture of it, save it in W Drive, so next time we talk, maybe they take care of this one. Next time we meet, we might want to deal with this one a little bit or that one. So it's just a way of saving this information for future appointments.
You do this on a whiteboard, or you do this on?
I do it on whiteboard.
Screen and go, and it shows up on the TV screen?
No. The TV screen is like, if they have a question about a particular policy, we pop that up on the screen so they can see it, and we do an exact where or something like that.
So you do this on a drive race?
Yeah. And then I take a picture of it before I race it. And I can send them a copy of that along with, save it in their file.
Once you've pointed out the need, or you've gotten them to see the need, how do you then pivot to the?
Good question. So we've popped up 3 things here. The next question is, which one of these worries you the most? So that's where I go and we work on that. And if there's money at that point, so next time we meet, which one do you want to talk about next?
Hey, Cecil, I have a question. So, I got, assuming you sent me an email for fact-finding questions, you have a list of all their assets and things like that. How, just that, the presentation you give on IFR, for example,
No, I've got a fact finder that I use. We try to, a lot of times when you help people, I want to send you a fact finder, they're picturing reams of data. I try to make it as simple as possible. We can dig in more depth if they want to. This is not a financial plan arrangement. I could do that too, but this is basically just a very simple, broad picture. But I want to be thorough enough to be worth something, but I don't want to be so thorough that it just wipes them out and they never get anything done. So I've got a sort of simplified fact finder I send to them. And then we send it to them, and then we say, we're booking, the first part of this process is a phone interview where we gather the data. So we send them the fact finder, and then we schedule time to talk to them to get the information. Because you send it to them, expect them to mail it back, it happens 1 out of 10 times. So I'll mail it to them so they'll have the information available when I call them. And then, so the first appointment is a phone appointment to gather the information, and then at that time we schedule the time for them to actually come in for the presentation.
Somebody else in your office do that phone call?
I like to do it myself,
You do.
but it'd be easy to have somebody else do it, sure.
Who are you trying to meet with, Cecil? Who do you meet with personally, and who does your team meet with?
Thank you. I'm gearing myself more to people around my age or older now, and because that way I can work with annuities and retirement income and things like that. Also, people are going to feel more comfortable dealing with people around their age. So if they're in their 20s and early 30s, I generally call them off my sons because they are around that age and they deal better with them. And they'll get, on the older people, I generally don't do it quite the same way because it's a little different thing that we're looking at. I go to more like the Tom Hegnan thing for the older people. Any questions on that?
Seems too simple, Cecil.
Well, I think the key on what we do, particularly something like this, is keep it simple. Like, you know, the more complex you make it, you may feel impressed with yourself, but they're not going to be, and they're just going to.
And the longer it is, people they kind of just tune you out anyway.
Yeah, they've also, I've had people say, "Can you send me a picture of that you just took?" Because they want their reference too. So it's a good approach if you want some more information on it, you give me a call.
That's really not what I expected you to do. Because you're so I just thought something more technical. That's pretty cool, yeah.
No, the technical's in the background, it's back here.
Yeah,
When you present it to them, it better be easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
yeah,
And then if they ask me more complicated questions, I'm ready on that. But
yeah.
I'll also say, what we do a lot of times too is when one of the objections that we all hear is, "I've got a financial plan." My answer to that is, I got my CFP a few years ago. That was quite a thing. But it was interesting in taking those classes for that. I took just a study course basically, but there must have been 300 people in the room taking that study course. I think I was the only one with a PNC background. And so what I tell when I get the objection is, "I've got a financial planner that does everything." I said, "That's great. I'm glad you do." But in my experience, there's not a single financial planner out there, hardly, that knows anything about property and casualty. And therefore, they're getting sort of incomplete picture. What we do helps your financial planner do a better job for you, because we cover some areas they don't have a lot of expertise in. And what you'll find when you do that is a lot of times that financial planner thing was just a smokescreen anyway. Yeah, they met with him 5 years ago. They don't even know where he is anymore. You know?
And they have an 800 number anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's a stockbroker or something, and when they see this type of thing, it makes a lot more sense. Then you start talking to them here, and they say, and they haven't been talked to by the agent. I say, "Can I bring this stuff to you?" You know. So it's generally a smokescreen in most cases. Any other questions?
You seen his name where it was on the list. I mean, this has been one of Cecil's best years. I mean, it's just amazing. And when I said best years, and how quickly, he got the things that his goals that he had accomplished. So, just something to think about. I wanted to show you that because it's simple. And I know Ryan's boss is still here, which I wasn't still expecting to be here, but that's fine. But you don't know, but I really report to you because I report to Ryan, and so he just challenged me, and what I'm going to do over these next 3 days, I'm going to send you guys a list of dates, and if you want me to come out with you and sit in with a client like this, that's what I'm going to do, because I just feel that if I can do it not sitting in that chair since 1999, you guys can do it. I mean, you can do it, or there's someone in your office that can do it, but I've seen, because Ryan has pushed me out this past year, that me being there, it's just about being there and keeping it simple. And you being the agent, these people will